Admiral John Miller stood at the wide window of Luna Base, watching Earth glow blue and green in the darkness of space. He smiled as the Imperial shuttle approached the space station. The aliens would see exactly what humanity wanted them to see, and nothing more. "Are we ready for our guests, Lieutenant Campbell?" he asked. Susan Campbell nodded. Her dark hair was pulled back in a neat bun, her uniform perfect. "Yes, sir. The tour route is set. They'll only see our older ships. The holographic projections are in place to hide the advanced weapon systems even on those." "Good. The Empire must continue to think we are just simple humans with basic space travel." Admiral Miller straightened his jacket. "They must never suspect what we really have." Across the solar system, hidden deep in the asteroid belt, the U.S. Invincible floated in its secret dock. The massive supercarrier was almost complete. At over 3 miles long, it could carry hundreds of fighter ships and house thousands of crew members. Its weapons could destroy a moon. Its shields could withstand the heat of a sun. And best of all, it was completely invisible to Imperial scanners. Back at Luna Base, Ambassador Peter Wright greeted the Imperial delegation with a practiced smile and a small bow. "Welcome to Earth space, honored visitors," he said to the tall, blue-skinned aliens. "We are so pleased the Galactic Empire wishes to continue diplomatic relations with our small world." The lead alien, Grand Inspector Zach Thullum, looked down at Peter with 6 golden eyes. "The Empire is generous to primitive species," he said. His translator made his words sound flat and cold. "We are here to inspect your military capabilities as our treaty requires." Peter nodded, trying to look nervous. It wasn't hard. Even knowing humanity's secret strength, the aliens were still scary. "Of course, we have prepared a tour of our best ships." Admiral Miller joined them, introducing himself with the proper Imperial greeting. A fist to the chest, then open palm outward. "This way, please," Miller said. "We will show you our finest vessel, the UES Guardian." The Imperial officials followed him to a viewing area overlooking a large ship. It was impressive by Earth standards from 30 years ago, but to the Empire, it would look like a child's toy. "This is your most advanced warship?" asked Zach Thullum with poorly hidden laughter in his voice. "Yes," Miller said, looking down as if embarrassed. "It can reach nearby star systems in just under 2 years." The Imperial officials made clicking sounds to each other, their form of chuckling. "And your weapon systems?" another official asked. Miller pointed to small gun turrets on the ship, nuclear missiles and plasma cannons. "We're very proud of them." More clicking laughter. While the tour continued, Lieutenant Susan Campbell sat in a hidden control room, carefully monitoring the Imperial visitors. Their technology was advanced, but not as advanced as they believed. She could see that their scanners were active, studying Earth's ships. "Let them look," she whispered to herself. "They won't find anything we don't want them to see." When the tour ended, Zach Thullum addressed Ambassador Wright. "The Empire thanks you for your transparency. We will report to our leaders that Earth poses no threat to Imperial security." After the Imperial shuttle departed, Admiral Miller, Susan, and Peter met in a secure room deep beneath Luna Base. "They took the bait," Miller said, smiling. "They think we're no threat." Peter nodded. "My sources say the Empire is planning something big. They're fighting this Void Collective and losing ships fast, which means they'll be looking for resources and soldiers," Susan added. "They'll come back to Earth with demands." Admiral Miller's smile faded. "And when they do, we'll be ready." He pressed a button on the table. A hologram appeared, showing the U.S. Invincible. "How long until she's ready for action?" A voice came through the speaker. 3 more weeks, Admiral. Then the Invincible will be fully operational." "Perfect," Miller said. "The Empire thinks we're weak. When the time comes, they'll learn how wrong they are." Outside, the stars shined cold and distant. Among them, Imperial ships moved across the galaxy, unaware that the simple humans they had just visited were far more dangerous than they could imagine. 1 month after the Imperial visit, a massive ship appeared near Earth's moon. It was 20 times bigger than anything humans officially had. Its dark metal hull gleamed in the sunlight as smaller ships flew around it like bees around a hive. In the underground war room beneath the Rocky Mountains, Earth's leaders gathered around a large table. Admiral Miller showed them the images of the Imperial ship. "They're back sooner than we expected," he said, "and they've brought a dreadnought." President Helen Clark looked worried. "What do they want?" Before anyone could answer, a screen lit up. The blue face of Imperial Overseer Zax Thullum appeared. "People of Earth," he said, his 6 golden eyes blinking slowly. "The Galactic Empire requires your assistance. You will provide resources and soldiers for our war against the Void Collective. This is not a request." After the message ended, the room was quiet. "They think we're weak," General Carl Taylor said, breaking the silence. "They expect us to just give in." Captain Frank Johnson, newly assigned to the U.S. Invincible, stood up. "The supercarrier is ready, Madam President. We can show them right now what humans are really capable of." Admiral Miller shook his head. "Not yet. The Empire has thousands of ships. We need to be smart about this." Dr. Olivia Martinez, lead scientist for the Supercarrier project, spoke next. "The Invincible systems are fully operational, but we've only tested them in simulations. We should gather more information about their technology first." President Clark nodded slowly. "Admiral Miller is right. We play along for now. Ambassador Wright will tell them we need time to gather the resources they want." In the hidden asteroid base, the U.S. Invincible floated in its massive dock. Inside, Captain Frank Johnson walked through the ship's main bridge. It was huge, with screens showing views of space all around. Officers worked at stations filled with advanced computers. "Captain on the bridge," someone called out. "At ease," Frank said. He looked at his crew, the best Earth had to offer. "The Empire has made their move. We're going to stay hidden for now, but be ready. Soon, we'll show them what humanity can really do." Lieutenant Eric Turner, the communications specialist, approached the captain. "Sir, I've been studying their transmissions. I think I found a weakness in their encryption." Frank smiled. "Good work, Lieutenant. Keep digging." Later that day, Ambassador Peter Wright stood in a meeting room on the lunar base, facing Zax Thullum. "Earth accepts the Empire's request," Peter said carefully, "but we need time to prepare. Our ships are slowed, as you've seen. It will take us 1 month to gather everything." Zax Thullum made a clicking sound with his mouth. "Primitive species always delay. The Empire is generous. You have 1 month. Then we will begin taking what we need." After the Imperial officials left, Peter contacted the war room. "They agreed to give us a month." Admiral Miller nodded on the screen. "Good. That's all we need." 3 weeks passed. The Empire kept its huge ship near the moon, watching Earth. Smaller Imperial ships patrolled the solar system, making sure humans were complying with their demands. On a secret channel, Admiral Miller spoke to Captain Frank. "It's time for a test. There's an Imperial patrol ship near the edge of the system. They're too far out for Earth to be blamed. Take it out." Frank nodded. "Yes, sir." The U.S. Invincible quietly left its hidden dock. It was massive yet moved silently through space. Its special hull absorbed all radar and light, making it invisible to Imperial sensors. Near the icy edges of the solar system, an Imperial patrol ship followed its regular route. The 2 aliens on board were bored. Watching humans was not exciting duty. "Sensor check," one said to the other. "Anything out there?" "Just ice and rocks," replied the second alien. "Same as yesterday." He never finished his sentence. A beam of energy, invisible until it hit the ship, cut through their hull like it was paper. The Imperial ship exploded into tiny pieces. The Invincible turned around and disappeared back to its hiding place. The next day, The Empire was in confusion. One of their ships had vanished. They blamed the mysterious Void Collective and sent more ships to Earth. They had no idea that humans were the real threat, hiding just beyond their sight. After the disappearance of their patrol ship, the Empire sent 5 more warships to Earth. They circled the planet like sharks, their weapons ready. Humans watched the sky with worry, but Earth's leaders knew the true situation was not what it seemed. Commander Alan Scott stood in the fighter bay of the U.S. Invincible. Rows of sleek fighter ships lined both sides of the massive room. Each one was more advanced than anything the Empire had ever seen. "Pilots, listen up," he called to the men and women in flight suits. "Today we run battle drills. Tomorrow," he paused, "tomorrow we might be in a real fight." The pilots nodded. They had trained for years in secret for this moment. On Earth, Chief Engineer Maria Garcia was at her hidden lab beneath the New Mexico desert. She looked at the screens showing the Invincible's engine readings. "The new drive is working perfectly," she said to her team. "The Empire has nothing like this. They think it takes humans years to reach nearby stars. We can get there in minutes." Maria remembered the day she first developed the drive system. The Empire had shared some basic tech with Earth as a gift to the primitive humans. They never imagined humans would take those simple ideas and improve them 100 times over. In Washington, D.C., Imperial Overseer Zach Stallam sat across from President Clark. His blue skin looked almost purple in the office lights. "Your time is running out," he said. "Where are the resources we demanded? Where are the soldiers?" President Clark looked nervous, but inside she was calm. "We're gathering everything as fast as we can. Please understand, our ships are slow. We need more time." Zach Stallam stood up, towering over her. "The Empire's patience has limits. 3 more days. Then we take what we need by force." After he left, the President contacted Admiral Miller. "The Empire is getting angry. How ready are we?" "The Invincible is at full power," Miller replied. "And we've confirmed the Empire is losing badly to the Void Collective. They need our help more than they admit." That night, Lieutenant Eric Turner made an important discovery. He rushed to Captain Frank Johnson's quarters on the Invincible. "Captain, I broke their highest-level encryption," Eric said, out of breath. "I know why they're really here." Frank looked up from his desk. "Tell me." "The Void Collective destroyed half the Imperial fleet last month. The Empire is desperate. They're not just taking our resources. They plan to move their government here if they lose more territory." Frank's eyes widened. "They want to take over Earth completely." "Yes, sir. And they think we can't stop them." The next morning, Admiral Miller called an emergency meeting with Earth's top leaders. He explained what Eric had discovered. "We can't wait any longer," he said. "It's time to show the Empire who they're really dealing with." President Clark nodded. "I agree. Begin Operation Unveiling." Across the solar system, hidden bases activated. Not just the Invincible, but other secret ships too. Smaller, but still far beyond what the Empire thought humans could build. On the moon base, Ambassador Peter Wright met with Zach Stallam one last time. "The Empire's patience is over," Zach Stallam said. "Tomorrow we begin taking your people as workers." Peter smiled for the first time in their meetings. "I think you should contact your leaders first." Zach Stallam looked confused. "Why?" "Because things are about to change." At that moment, the U.S. Invincible appeared next to the Imperial Dreadnought. One second there was empty space. The next second the massive human carrier was there, 3 times larger than the Empire's biggest ship. On every Imperial screen, Admiral Miller's face appeared. "Attention Empire forces," he said calmly. "Earth is not the primitive world you think it is. We've hidden our true technology from you. Leave our solar system now, or see what humans are really capable of." In his ship, Zach Stallam stared at the human supercarrier with all 6 eyes wide open. For the first time, he felt something he had never felt toward humans before. Zax Thallam stared at the massive human ship on his view screen. This was impossible. Humans were primitive. They couldn't build something like this. Is this some trick? He asked Ambassador Peter Wright. Peter smiled. No trick, just the truth we've been hiding. On the bridge of the U.S. Invincible, Admiral Miller watched the Imperial ships. They were moving into attack positions. They're powering weapons, Lieutenant Susan Campbell reported. Admiral Miller nodded. Let them fire first. Then show them what we can do. The Imperial dreadnought fired its main weapon. A beam of energy shot toward the Invincible. Everyone on Earth held their breath as they watched. The beam hit the human ship shields, and nothing happened. The shields glowed slightly, then returned to normal. Their most powerful weapon, Captain Frank Johnson said with a smile. And it didn't even make our shields flicker. Admiral Miller opened the communication channel. Imperial forces, that was your free shot. Now it's our turn. He nodded to Susan. Target their weapon systems only. Minimal power. Susan pressed a button. A small beam, almost too fast to see, shot from the Invincible. It hit the Imperial dreadnought with perfect accuracy. The huge alien ship's weapons went dark. From her command center on Earth, Vice Admiral Laura White coordinated the operation. Screens showed every Imperial ship in the solar system. All units report, she ordered. One by one, Earth's hidden ships reported in. They had disabled the weapons on every Imperial vessel without destroying any of them. Back on the Invincible, Flight Lieutenant Daniel Green prepared his fighter squadron. The sleek black ships sat ready in the launch bay. If the Empire tries anything else, we launch, he told his pilots. Remember your training. Their fighters are faster, but less maneuverable. On the Imperial dreadnought, Zax Thallam was in panic. He called the Imperial High Command on an emergency channel. The humans have deceived us, he said, his voice shaking. They have technology far beyond what they showed us. They've disabled all our weapons with ease. The Imperial commander looked shocked. Impossible. Our sensors would have detected such technology. Their stealth technology is beyond anything we have, Zax Thallam replied. They could have destroyed us, but they only disabled our weapons. In Washington, D.C., President Clark addressed the people of Earth. Today, we have revealed our true strength to the Galactic Empire. For years, we have hidden our advances, learning about our galactic neighbors while they underestimated us. This strategy has kept us safe and given us time to prepare. Meanwhile, Intelligence Officer Paul Roberts and his team boarded the disabled Imperial dreadnought. The alien crew watched in shock as the humans easily bypassed their security systems. We'll be taking samples of your technology, Paul told Zax Thallam. Consider it payment for the resources you demanded from us. Zax Thallam could only watch as the humans collected data and small equipment samples. Who are you people? He finally asked. How did you hide all this? Paul smiled. We're just humans, but we've learned that in this galaxy, it's better to be underestimated. On the Invincible, Admiral Miller received a message from Earth's leaders. He read it and turned to Captain Frank. New orders, he said. We're taking the fight to them. The Empire has a supply depot in the Alpha Centauri system. We're going to destroy it. That's in their territory, Frank said. Yes. It's time to show them we can hit them anywhere, anytime. The Invincible's engines powered up. The massive ship turned away from Earth, its hull shimmering as the stealth systems activated. Set course for Alpha Centauri, Miller ordered. Let's show the Empire what humanity can really do. As the supercarrier disappeared into faster-than-light travel, the Imperial officers could only watch in stunned silence. The primitive humans they had looked down on were now their most dangerous enemy. 3 days after the U.S. Invincible left for Alpha Centauri, a new Imperial ship arrived at Earth. It was smaller than the dreadnought but sleeker, with strange devices attached to its hull. This was the Imperial Investigator's personal vessel. Imperial Investigator Krul Morith was the Empire's best detective. He had solved mysteries across 100 worlds. Now, the Empire had sent him to find out how humans had hidden their true technology. Ambassador Peter Wright met Krell Moreth at the lunar base. The alien was tall and thin, with pale green skin and 4 arms. His eyes were black with no pupils, making it hard to know where he was looking. "Welcome to Earth space, investigator," Peter said with a bow. Krell Moreth did not return the gesture. "I am not here for pleasantries, human. Your kind has deceived the Empire. This is a serious crime." Director Nickel Brown, head of Earth's counterintelligence, stepped forward. "We understand your concerns. We're open to your investigation." This was part of Earth's plan. While the Invincible was away, they would distract the Empire with this investigation. On Earth, Krell Moreth visited factories, shipyards, and research centers. But these were all places prepared for his visit. The real secrets remained hidden. Major Kevin Carter was assigned as the investigator's guide. "As you can see," Kevin said at an engine factory, "we developed our technology based on simple principles. Nothing special." Krell Moreth touched the engine parts with his 4 hands. "These are too simple. They could not power your supercarrier." Kevin shrugged. "I'm just a soldier. The scientists understand how it all works." Meanwhile, deep in space, the U.S. Invincible reached Alpha Centauri. The Imperial Supply Depot was massive, a space station with dozens of ships docked around it. "Stealth systems at maximum," Captain Frank ordered. "They must not detect us until it's too late." The human supercarrier moved silently toward the depot. Its special hull absorbed all scans and radar, making it invisible to Imperial sensors. Admiral Miller looked at the attack plan one last time. "Remember, we want to disable, not destroy. Take out their engines and weapons, but minimize casualties." Flight Lieutenant Daniel Green led his fighter squadron out of the Invincible. The black fighter ships were small but deadly, each armed with weapons that could cut through Imperial shields like paper. "Attack pattern Delta," Daniel ordered. "Hit the command center first." Back on Earth, Krell Moreth's investigation continued. He interviewed scientists and engineers, asking difficult questions about human technology. "Your progress is too rapid," he said to Dr. Olivia Martinez. "No species advances this quickly." Olivia smiled politely. "Humans have always been good at learning and adapting. It's our greatest strength." In her office, Director Nickel Brown watched the interviews on a screen. "He's getting suspicious," she said to Ambassador Peter. "We need to give him something." Peter nodded. "The old research base in Australia. We'll show him that." The next day, they took Krell Moreth to an underground base in the Australian desert. It contained early prototypes of advanced technology, real enough to be convincing, but still far behind what humans actually had. "This is where we made our first breakthroughs," Major Kevin explained. "By studying materials from a crashed Imperial scout ship." Krell Moreth examined everything carefully. "This explains some things, but not all. Your supercarrier is still beyond what you could develop, even with this head start." As he continued his investigation, news reached Earth from Alpha Centauri. The Imperial Supply Depot had been attacked. All ships and the station were disabled but not destroyed. The attackers had vanished without a trace. Imperial Command immediately blamed the mysterious Void Collective, but Krell Moreth was not convinced. "The timing is too perfect," he said, his black eyes staring at Earth in the distance. "I believe humans are hiding even more than we thought." General Carl Taylor sat in a secret meeting room deep below the Pentagon. Around him were Earth's top military leaders. On screens, they watched Imperial ships in orbit. "Investigator Krell Moreth is getting too close to the truth," General Taylor said. "It's time for our next move." Ambassador Victoria Adams, Earth's best diplomat, nodded. "The fake resistance plan is ready. We make it look like some humans are fighting against working with the Empire. And we let the Empire crush this resistance easily," added Lieutenant Commander Jason Hill, "making them believe we're still weak, just with a few stolen technologies." The plan was set in motion the next day. In 3 cities around the world, what looked like human rebels attacked Imperial visitors. They used weapons that seemed advanced, but were actually decades behind Earth's real technology. News of the rebellion spread quickly. Imperial ships detected unusual energy readings from Montana, where the rebel base was hidden. Krell Moreth watched from his ship as Imperial forces surrounded the area. Interesting, he said to himself. These rebels appear suddenly, just when I'm close to answers. On the ground, Lieutenant Commander Jason Hill played his role perfectly. Dressed as a rebel leader, he shouted orders to his fake soldiers. They fired at Imperial ships with weapons designed to look impressive but cause minimal damage. For Earth's freedom, Jason yelled, making sure the Imperial recorders caught his words. The Imperial forces attacked with full power. The rebel base's shields failed quickly, just as planned. Jason and his team pretended to fight bravely, but were soon overwhelmed. Imperial soldiers captured Jason and brought him before Krell Moreth. The human was bruised and his clothes were torn, all carefully done to look real. "You rebels are foolish," Krell Moreth said. "The Empire cannot be defeated." Jason spat on the ground. "We found the truth. Some humans have been hiding stolen Imperial tech. We wanted to use it to fight you, not work with you." This was the key part of the deception. Earth wanted the Empire to believe that only a small group of humans had advanced technology, and that it was all stolen Imperial tech, not human innovation. Krell Moreth studied Jason's face. "Where is the human supercarrier now?" "I don't know," Jason lied. "The traitors who work with you control it." Meanwhile, the U.S. Invincible was not in Alpha Centauri anymore. It had traveled to the heart of Imperial territory, to their main shipyard. Using its perfect stealth systems, it floated undetected among hundreds of Imperial warships. Inside the Invincible, Admiral Miller and Captain Frank watched the Imperial fleet. "Their ships are gathering," Frank observed. "They're preparing for something big." Intelligence Officer Paul Roberts studied the data they were secretly collecting. "They're planning a final assault against the Void Collective. They're gathering every ship they have." Admiral Miller nodded. "This is our chance. Plant the false information in their systems." Paul's team sent invisible signals to the Imperial computers. They added small errors to the Imperial battle plans. Nothing obvious, but enough to cause problems later. Back on Earth, the Empire celebrated their easy victory over the human rebels. Imperial High Command sent a message to Krell Moreth. "Well done, investigator. The situation is clear now. A small group of humans stole our technology. The rest remain primitive. The rebellion has been crushed." Krell Moreth was not fully convinced, but he had orders to return. The Empire needed every ship for the battle against the Void Collective. As his ship left Earth orbit, he looked back at the blue planet. "There's still something strange about these humans," he said quietly. "They gave up too easily." In the Pentagon War Room, Earth's leaders watched the Imperial ships leave. "They took the bait," General Taylor said with a smile. "Now we wait for the perfect moment to show our true power." 2 weeks after the fake rebellion, alarming news reached Earth. The Void Collective had launched a massive attack on Centaurus Prime, the Empire's most important world after their home planet. In the war room beneath the Pentagon, Earth's leaders watched the battle unfold through secret sensors. The Imperial fleet was losing badly. Their ships exploded one after another as the strange black ships of the Void Collective attacked from all sides. Fleet Admiral Ryan Moore, Supreme Commander of Earth's true fleet, stood before the President and other leaders. "This is the moment we've been waiting for. The Empire is about to fall. If we do nothing, the Void Collective will take over the galaxy. And they might be even worse than the Empire," added Vice Admiral Laura White. President Clark looked at the faces around her. "The plan was always to reveal our full strength at the right time. Is this that time?" Admiral Miller nodded from a screen. The U.S. Invincible had returned to Earth space, along with valuable data from Imperial territory. The Empire sees us as allies now, weak ones but allies. If we save them, they'll have no choice but to treat us as equals. Launch Operation Revelation, the President ordered. Across the solar system, hidden bases activated. Not just the Invincible, but 4 other supercarriers that no one outside Earth's military knew existed. The U.S. Fearless, the U.S. Defender, the U.S. Guardian, and the U.S. Protector. Captain Stephanie Lewis of the U.S. Fearless prepared her ship for battle. All systems ready. Fighter squadrons standing by. Similar reports came from the other carriers. 5 supercarriers, each more powerful than anything the Empire had ever built, ready to fight together. Fleet Admiral Ryan Moore addressed all ships from his command center. Today, humanity takes its place as a major power in the galaxy. Remember your training. Show the galaxy what humans can do. The 5 supercarriers jumped to faster than light speed, heading for Centaurus Prime. On Centaurus Prime, the Imperial forces were making their last stand. Their great cities were burning as Void Collective ships bombed them from orbit. The Imperial Palace was surrounded by enemy ground forces. Imperial High Commander Dres Koroth prepared for death. "We fought bravely," he told his officers. "The Empire may fall today, but we will be remembered." Then his communication officer shouted, "Sir, new ships have appeared. They're human." On every Imperial screen, Fleet Admiral Ryan Moore appeared. "Imperial forces, this is Earth Fleet Command. We are here to assist. Hold your positions." Before the Empire could respond, the 5 human supercarriers moved into attack formation. Hundreds of fighter ships launched from their bays, their advanced weapons glowing with power. Tactical Officer Andrew Wilson coordinated the attack from the U.S. Invincible. All fighters, focus on the Void Collective capital ships. Carriers, target their command vessels. The battle that followed amazed everyone watching. Human fighters moved with impossible speed and precision. Their weapons cut through Void Collective shields that had resisted Imperial fire for hours. The supercarriers fired their main weapons together, creating a web of energy that trapped and destroyed the largest enemy ships. In just 30 minutes, half the Void Collective fleet was gone. The remaining enemy ships tried to escape, but the human carriers followed them, continuing the attack until none remained. On Centaurus Prime, Imperial citizens came out of hiding to see their unexpected saviors. Human ships hovered over the cities, their size and power obvious to all. In the Imperial Palace, High Commander Dres Koroth welcomed Fleet Admiral Ryan Moore with a deep bow, a gesture previously reserved only for the Emperor himself. "The Empire is in your debt," Dres Koroth said. How did your species hide such power from us?" Admiral Moore smiled. "Humans have always known that appearing weak when you are strong is the greatest advantage. Now let's discuss our new relationship, as equals." As Imperial and human leaders met to form a new alliance, the 5 supercarriers floated in orbit, a clear reminder that humanity was now a force that even the mighty Galactic Empire had to respect.